Welcome everyone to the second of our June webinar series. The overall theme for these webinars is simplicity is complexity done well. And the inspiration for this was an article that one of our clients created. They're called Demoscope, one of our clients in Switzerland, and they've done some amazing work with Askia, and they wanted to share that with their clients. We love what they wrote about their use of Askia, and so we turned that into a blog post, which is on our website, and I thoroughly recommend you have a look at that. So that's the overall theme of our webinars this month, and each week we're looking at technology that really helps you deal with complexity in market research operations. And this week we're focusing on the area of reporting. So why reporting? Well, I guess you go to all the trouble of designing, recruiting and collecting your survey data, but we all know that the really important part is what happens next. And you have to make sure your data is clean, it's all lined up and it's ready to be analyzed. And then you have to find your headline insights from the data as quickly as possible. And then you have to tell the story and share it with your client. So what we're going to be doing is looking at how Askia and the technology we have can simplify, that can be a really complex thing to do, especially under time pressure. And the person that's going to take you through all this is Christine. Christine is our scientific director, and she's been at Askia since 2000. I think, Christine, you were employee number 4 or something like that. So you've got 18 years of experience helping our clients get the most from the software. And I think before that you were operations and DP director at a large French agency. So you've got enormous amounts of experience and you know your way around market research data. I'm going to hand over to Christine, but before I do, I'll just let you know that you can pose questions during the webinar using the chat function in WebEx, and then we'll go through those questions at the end. So now, Christine, over to you.
Thank you, Richard, and welcome to everybody. You know, we love to share our passion for this, and anyone, users or not, beginners, experts, geeks, or people just affected by the innovation we are working on. We want to provide easily understandable and highlighted results, even if the subject is complex. When I was at school, there was an expression by Boileau, which I have tried to apply in my career. Whatever is well conceived is clearly said, and the words to say it flow with ease. So let's try to illustrate this with Askia. We nearly always need to prepare the data before we work with it. This is because we are in the real world and the data is not always ready to use, except of course if you collect the data with Askia. But I guess all of you is using Askia. Sometimes we also work with tracking studies, and nobody within the industry will like to say that there are no changes between the waves. If they say that, it's not true. Don't trust them. So it's the reason why we need to prepare the data in order to make easier the data processing and to focus our energy on smart analysis. The data processing on continuous surveys is long and laborious work, and it can take a long time, including the risk of errors. To help the DP, we have created Askia Surf to align questions, response, data without any need of merge, and make this consolidation smart, reliable, fast, in an efficient way. And you don't have to merge the data waves, as I said previously, into a single volume. You just manage the differences between the waves, and the data will be pulled from the individual waves on the fly to produce your results. It helps you align your questions, responses, and data with confidence. So probably we can say for perpetual changes, Askia Surf is the unique automatic solution to prepare the data. Let's see how to proceed. With Askia Surf, you can add a new wave. So click right, add a new wave, name it, then add a new volume, name it, select the question source, here a case file, Askia detects automatically the inheritance of information from the previous wave, the compatibility and the relative size in terms of number of questions. Here we have 92%, which is excellent. If you accept, you can select the inheritance and apply the method of alignment. You could do it using shortcut, internal code, short caption, long caption, or whatever, or method if you want at the same time. You have the same for response matching using short caption, order, internal code, entry code. For our example, just use short caption. And then we align the question. I mean, we will reconcile the question. During the reconciliation, you have the possibility to apply a question library. I mean, for example, if you have different spelling of don't know, you can group it automatically. Then the report is automatically displayed with the differences between the new wave and the previous wave named campaign. Here you have some missing question and below some different spelling of question. A Gantt diagram with different color is displayed. Yellow is meaning minor, red is meaning missing. Select first the question country in yellow, and then select the responses Italy. Even if they don't participate to the World Cup, we can use it today. So then click right, view question, view response differences. Here the short caption of the response are not the same for the French translation. In the source we have Italy with the at the end, campaign Italy with our I. If we want to change automatically, we just click on Update All. Obvious, but you can see that we have the same problem with the other responses. If we want to do it, not to do it one by one, we can click on the first Kit Add button. The system will propose automatically to update all the caption. So selecting the change and then click on Update. Here you have the report. You can use Update All, and now the yellow background disappears automatically. Let's see the next difference. Selecting the question 2 reasons, then, as previous, click right, View Question Differences. Here, we see that the number of responses is not the same in the previous wave. Obviously, it's higher in the campaign, so we decide to keep it and to not accept the change. Here, the responses are missing. They are red flagged. And if we continue the navigation within the questionnaire, we will see also in red some missing questions. To conclude on Askia, you can manage seamless, useful interview of questions, easy and reliably manage the changes between waves, reduce data alignment and control time after each wave. Nice to have, isn't it? So now, after the data prepare, how to extract the diamond from the coal. Let's see how we can data process with Askia Analysis. Askia Analysis is a smart data processing tool with an intuitive interface which allows the user to do simple but also complex analysis in one click. With an open mind, you can import, export data from anywhere, any MR format are accepting. You can import from Dimension, so SPSS, or SSS, or any database. Designing to reduce time to result. Each step you produce, you can reuse it later in your survey or in the other surveys, and providing powerful data insight. Analysis produces smart tabulation made by and for smart people. Whatever the number of interviews, the number of questions, we need to handle easily the data processing and provide smart tables, which means including different settings depending on the different universe. filtered or unfiltered view, weighted or unweighted basis, a type of variables, or the appropriate significance test. Askia analysis helps you to do it. What about the interface? When we open a questionnaire with Askia analysis, we have information about the questionnaire in a number of places. At the bottom right, the survey name and the number of interviews. On the top left side, we have the tree view of the questionnaire, and on the bottom left, some distribution per question. And finally, on the right side, the tab definition. So now, let's start to create a table. Select the question you want to drag on row. Yes. Or the question you want to drag also in column. Then click on Result. You will have the highlighted results with significance test. And if you want to reuse it later, you can store it into a portfolio. As you can start as many tab definitions as you have. And for example, you can export it to Excel. You will keep Excel, I give a name, tab, one, yes. You will keep the conditional formatting and the value are exported as number. As you could see, you could have also a table of contents. Please note that we offer a library of significance tests depending on the type of variables, numeric, metric, qualitative, closed question. So for more information, have a look into our user help center, support.askia.com. Now, in order to filter your table, you can create a subpopulation by drag and drop the responses, select the man, for example, into the top left box. You will have only results for men. Or when it's a complex filter, you can go back into the general section of tab definition and combine as many filters as you want. You have two filter creation views, by GUI or by script. Let's start by GUI, creating a human subpopulation. Select the question gender and the response. Then select the age question and the two responses under 34. Yes, you can say that they are young when they are less 34. Or by script, using the Askia script, I mean the shortcut between two question marks as 1 and question age as the answer 1 and 2. Then save and click on result. You will see now you have result only for men, age, and 54. Next, when we want to have a fully representative view of the relevant population, we apply the weighting on the sample. Why? Because the weighting could adjust the sample and correct some different factors. In analysis, select the weighting menu in the General tab section and create a weight per respondent. Weighted by gender and by age. We'll cross two questions, gender and age. Select the gender question. Then you will obtain the percentage step into your sample and the target to set. The number could be set as percentage or as count. The system will sum the value inserted and recalculate the structure. Yes, 48 and 52%. Then select man and cross by clicking on the pie chart the question age. Now you have the percentage for men on each structure, and the target value to set. You can copy and paste from Excel, for example. And now if you don't want to redo step by step for women, you just have to click right, copy, and paste the structure on the woman answer. Then just change the target. We have different options, the minimum and maximum weight per respondent, and you will have a weighting report. Using the automatic calculation of the base, the weighting will recalculate automatically running the table. Now, let's imagine that you want to use a numeric question with the weight per respondent. In this case, you can create a weighting. Let's name it weight 2, using an initial weight question. The numeric question must have the sum of value equal to the sample size, else some missing value will be converted to 0. Going now on variable creation. Let's do nets. When you create a new variable or apply a net style on step definition directly. In our example, we can select a set of questions, a scale question. Then we select the responses we want to group and then apply the group style. Here it will be group and leave. We rename the name in top 2. We proceed as same for revenue and other role. Group, apply group and leave. Bottom 2. And then apply a layout. You can customize applying a font weight or background. Let's use the blue sky. Here. And then we will obtain, clicking on results, a nice table with highlighted nets. Now, let's imagine that we want to do the same for the other question. We will use a nice feature in Askia, the possibility to copy and paste the presentation to the other question. So selecting the other question, paste presentation, automatically the net will be created. And you will obtain a smart summary table with the highlighted nets. But now we can use also a nice feature. I mean, let's imagine that we want to run now a break table. So let's create this break. Selecting the question gender, age, and profession, send it to column, and save it as profile social demo. The aim is to be able to reuse it later or to import it into another survey. Then select the questionnaire and send it in rows. In a few seconds, you will obtain the top lines caused by the break socio demo. The nice to know is you have the possibility to run automatically the clone socio break also. Let's illustrate it. Select the question you want to cross. Then click right, clone analysis, socio demo break. And now you will obtain the break table automatically. For further details about how to clone, come back to us. It will be a pleasure to show you how to clone. Now, and to finish, Because our client like it, we have also some nice features based on text analytics like word clouds. Here we have a question of comments obtained during the last World Cup. The comments could include also some multi-byte charts, and then we can display as a word cloud. Here you will obtain a blue cross with the main words stated. You can use also a logo, for example, the Brazil flag, and now the word cloud will have the color of the Brazilian flag. After all the data preparation and processing, you will have the possibility to share the result with your client. So let's speak now about Askia Vista. Askia Vista is our web-based analysis application designed specially for market research, and offer you that you can access from any device using your favorite modern browsers, is flexible and powerful, is loaded with data analysis and reporting features. As all you could do with Askia Analysis, you could do it also with Askia Vista. From simple tables and charts to the most advanced reports, Askia Vista allows you to filter your dataset, create custom variables, apply conditional formatting, reuse your table and chart definition. Askia Vista is also customizable from the application's interface to the tables and charts you produce up to the online reports you publish. And finally, API-driven, the advanced users can web design their own portals and dashboards. This means that you can easily create compelling data visualization to help bring your data to life. We will see later an example. When you use Askia Analysis, you are the administrator of the data. But when you provide an online access to your client, you want to be sure that the data access could be controlled. So it's the reason why Askia Vista proposes by default to customize the access to the survey. Choose the questions of the data to display. So Askia Vista is really powerful and flexible. Let's illustrate it. Let's see the output for the user. You can report using charts, tables with conditional formattings. When we created Askia Vista, we wanted to include a powerful range of calculations you have in Analysis and be able to apply them in the summary table, but also here we have with significance tests, but also providing the raw data at the response levels as results, or advanced analysis with correlation matrix, for example, or at least a monitor feature. You can also apply some filter. The reports are dynamic. The data update could be done on real time or scheduled each 5 minutes, days, week, months, etc. To see the new data, you don't have to redo your report. Just refresh your browser and select another item. Concerning the charts, we propose by default iCharts charts engine, but you can add different chart engines such as Google Chart, T3, etc. Now, let's see now how to create a report and provide a link to share with your clients. You just drag and drop the question in rows and the result is automatically displayed. And here in column, to share it, you can store the table into a portfolio. We give a name, my portfolio, then name the table, PCS by gender, no, by age, sorry, and then share the link, go to Portfolio Links, Trade, give a name to the link, Demo My Portfolio, select your portfolio, and then share the link with your customer. That's all. As the Askia Vista engine is analyst, you could have the same list of features, but also the same list of calculation and fully customizable. In our example, let's see how to customize the calculations. Here, we want to add the column significance test. So we add close column significance testing, then select advanced options, specify where the letter will be displayed in first column, test each column of the question, and then you have the possibility also to use unweighted based. And now if you want to have conditional formatting, let's imagine that we want to highlight sales calculation when you have more than 2 columns significant. Just select greater than 1 on this calculation, then select all calculation and the background color. So as per view, as I like the blue sky, I select the color. It's okay. Now you will have highlighted cells with significance test. Okay. Now let's illustrate for advanced users. You can web develop your own portal and call any Askia Vista data calculations tables. Let's see what we can do with our API. As example, let's connect on our custom dashboard. You can see an example from our website. You can propose a build-on feature by clicking on a portal chart or table. You will have the evolution. You can propose a cross-tabulation modules on predefined set of questions. Or display the raw data, including word clouds or some fieldwork statistics. And any data could be filtered also. So let's select the year 2014 and apply. Now all results has been edited automatically. But for those who want to use an easy dashboard builder without any web development skills, you could do it with Iris. Next week, my colleague will show you Iris, a game changer in the dashboard design market. Now, I listen to you. As you heard and saw, Askia offers a powerful data analysis tool to report smart results. Do you have any questions? Please feel free to ask us.
So thank you, Christine.
You're
There's
welcome.
a question in from Lena.
Yeah.
She asks about it's the conditional formatting. So
Yes.
When applied various shades of green and red based on the number of pluses and minuses associated
Yes.
with the cell, would they be able to show various shades of green and red based on the percent of difference for those which have been considered significant?
Yes, you can customize any calculations. I mean, if you have 3 signs, if you are using the significance testing, so the colon versus the remain population or versus the whole population, you can add a different color following the number of item. I mean, if you have 3 plus, it's meaning that it's significantly different at 99%. You can apply different colors. But do you want me to have a specific example? We can do it later if you want.
I think so. Might be good to have a session with Lena.
Oh yes, with pleasure. We can also post the video on how to do it.
Yeah. Thank you. I've got a question in from Paul. It says,
Yeah.
is it possible to automate any of the data processing that you've been showing?
Yes. As we have an API, you can automate any action you do in analysis. I mean, you can run your portfolio using command line or call any calculation. For example, in Askia Vista, for example, on the dashboard I've shown you before, made with our API, we can have any calculation calculated on the fly. On fly. So yes, it's positively possible.
Okay. I've got a question from Stefan. Can I use your DP tools even if I don't collect the data with Askia?
Yes, we prefer that you use Askia, but we are open. So you can import any data coming from market research. I mean, we can read or we can import any dimension data, for example, SPSS, PKD, etc., metadata, or also some SSS, could be classic or XML, or any database.
Thank you.
So if, for example, if you want to use it for Askia Vista, we can we can have some scheduled tasks to update based on regulatory basis the new data you put on receipt, for example. So Askia Vista will pick up automatically.
Great. One more from Johan. What has Askia done with regard to GDPR with your DP and reporting tools?
Yes. We are ready GDPR. I mean, for example, if you are using Askia for the data collection, you have a possibility to anonymize the data, for example. And when you read the data from Analyse or Avista, they are automatically anonymized. Else, you can apply some cleaning script. I mean, you can't display any result if you are based under 30 counts, for example. So it will be applied automatically, and nobody could see the result if we have a low base.
Mm-hmm. Thank you. A couple of questions in from Mark. So in Vista, how do you set up users to have varying degrees of access to the online portfolios?
Yes, depending on their rights, they are allowed to see only a part of the population. It could be a set of questions, so you can choose the question they can see. You can choose the data they can see. And for example, if you want to compare the national to the regional, so they can compare the sensitivity to the department and to the rest of the country, but they don't have a possibility to calculate on a different level. It's just they have some fixed column and the other are dynamics. So we can control any data access, any question, and also we can say limit time on access to Askia Vista. So they can provide the service limited into the time, and if their client wants to have more information, they can pay to have more license for a longer period.
And I think you can turn off functionality as well. So if you've got some users who you know are not that technical, you can turn off quite a lot of the functionality.
Yes, sometimes we simplify the interface, so they just have a few features available for them.
Yeah. And the other one from Mark was, how many users are they allowed to set up?
The number of users is limited to your license. Mm-hmm. So you have depending on the number of users, you're allowed to create reports. For person where they view only the reports, it's free for them. But you have a license only for people who create the the report for Askia Vista.
But those portfolio links that you showed at the start of Vista, they don't need user access, do they? They're just links that can go to as many people as you want.
Yes, as they want. Yes.
Yeah.
It's free.
Yeah. Question from Will. How do you access the command line in Analyse in order to automate processes?
You have a nice article in our knowledge page who is listing all command lines you have in Askia.
Okay, we can.
So really, you will find all information how to proceed, which kind of command line are available in our user area.
Well, maybe when we send the link to the recording, we can send through some other links to some of the areas you've mentioned.
Yeah.
I think that's all the questions we've got in so far. So I think probably, Christine, you could go on to the last slide.
Yeah.
That would be great. And I just wanted to, well, first of all, thank you for attending. That's great. And just to signpost the next two sessions that we have, Christine mentioned Iris, which is one of the ways that you can pull information from a Vista data set. So we're looking at Iris, which is the new joint venture that Askia has done with ETABS, and we'll be looking at this dashboard creation platform. So that's next week at the same time, and then on the 28th we have we're looking at Codit, which is a new partnership we have with a company called Digital Taxonomy, and they have some really smart technology for helping with coding of verbatim open ends. So we look forward to maybe seeing you and you joining our sessions then. But that's all from me and from Christine. So thank you very much for joining.
Thank you very much to everybody.
Thank you.
Feel free to contact us.
Thanks very much.
Thank
Goodbye.
you. Goodbye.